it's been 2 months.
2 months of just getting prepared, and you can tell how ready and how much work we did into the preparation for this episode.
Based on the fact that you didn't even know that Pit People was a thing.
Yes. That literally 30 seconds before I started recording, we found out that there was an entire game by the Behemoth, the company we're focusing on today, that we never played and had never even heard of. That came out 2 years ago.
Good job.
That is the level of professionalism that you can come to expect here.
It has been 2 months.
It has been.
Since we've recorded our last one.
Which was...
about Detroit and Nier Automata and just androids in general. Speaking of which, I was just drawing my android character.
That is a true fact.
I just realized that was not intentional.
I was a witness. I can vouch for the reality of that fact.
Storyboarding some of the Hades dude that I briefly mentioned in our last episode.
And it's interesting because I feel like both of those games, Detroit and Nier Automata, are games that sort of like, try to reach and push to expand the boundaries of what a video game can be, and went for like very, serious business attempts at storytelling, grappling with very deep and profound issues. While the games by the Behemoth are games that really lean fully into being video games and are, maybe a little bit more lowbrow, but they are skillfully
Hattie has some heartbreaking, tragic stuff.
He does. Hattie does have some genuine emotion and tragedy to him, but then again, it also has... butt salad and diarrhea casserole. And even in regards to old Hattie, the narrator himself says, so your best friend's a vegetable, blah, blah, blah. Which undermines the presentation somewhat, as far as taking it seriously all the way.
Yeah.
It's interesting. They are fascinating games, and we'll be going through them sort of chronologically and everything, but just to get, this out of the way for context.
Let's start at the very beginning.
Yes. I will say, though, as a tiny spoiler, that both of our favorite games of theirs is Battle Block Theater.
Which I feel like is one that not a lot of people talk about.
Yes, it's weird, because...
like Castle Crashers.
Yeah, Castle Crashers really sort of found a big audience.
Yeah.
But, for some reason, Battle Block Theater failed to do the same,
and don't get me wrong, Castle Crashers is great. I love that game. It is.
Good times. Absolutely.
But it's not as good as Battle Block Theater.
I agree. But...
nothing can beat the intro to Battle Block Theater. If you guys haven't seen it, click off this video, go to Google search, and search Battle Block Theater intro scene. I promise you it will be one of the best things you've ever seen. And you'll come back forever changed and ready to fully enjoy this podcast on a much deeper, downright religious level. Yes. Yes, worship us. Mm-hmm. Your eyes and ears and soul will be open. We are your gods now. Yes, that's the theme of this podcast. Yes. I am God. Yep. So you come for the video game podcast, and you stay for the indoctrination. We are overlords now. Worship us. That is the new subtitle for the podcast. Bombastigon, the overlords. Now. God. To delve into the origins of the Behemoth. The origin story? Behemoth Origins. Coming this summer. Oh now, my God. There was a website that people of my age and older, it meant a lot to us, called Newgrounds. If y'all are a fan of Weeble, the guy making Narwhal song, he did the Badger song, he got his start on Newgrounds, right? Absolutely, yeah, he did. Weeble got his start on Newgrounds. So if you like the Narwhal song, or the Badger song, or any other song by Weeble, or anything by Weeble, he started on Newgrounds. Yeah, Newgrounds originally was just sort of like, a website that had a lot of Flash content on it. Eddsworld also started on Newgrounds. Who's that? Eddsworld also started on Newgrounds. There you go. Because I remember watching one of their episodes and there was a little Newgrounds loading screen at the beginning. Weird. So yeah, if you guys like Eddsworld, I know it's a big fan base. I'm pretty sure got their start on Newgrounds as well. And sort of what really made Newgrounds a major force, back in the earlier internet days, is that it had this thing called the Portal. And originally the Portal was just
basically a place where, creators of Flash animation and Flash games could send them to the dude who ran the site, Tom Falp, and Tom Falp would put the best ones up on the website. But then, what really made it a groundbreaking thing that in some ways kind of, prophesies a lot of what the internet would do, is he created an automated form of the portal where pretty much anybody could upload their own Flash content, and it would just be added to this huge database, and through the votes that people give on things, it would basically regulate the best of the best and the best of the new content up towards the top of the list.
Basically Reddit.
Yes, Reddit, and it sort of was like a pre-YouTube YouTube, because again, this is before YouTube was a thing, so
y'all, imagine basically if you merge, the upvoting system of Reddit with the video aspect of YouTube, but, most of it's animation. Then you got Newgrounds. And
also, this is completely irrelevant, but it's a fact that I'm going to share with you people, because I don't know if this information exists anywhere else for you. So, when the portal reaches their, Portal 2.0 form, and it became the big, self-regulated kind of pre-YouTube type entity, it had a theme song that played on it. And the theme song was Unicrons from the Transformers movie.
Okay.
It's a good theme song! Look it up! Anyway.
Yeah, click off this video!
Yes, and just imagine how much better YouTube would be if there was a cool theme song that played when you were browsing.
That'd be great.
Right?
YouTube, what are you doing?
YouTube lacks all personality. The portal had personality. It had a menacing, ominous theme song from not a very good movie, but a movie that had its charms, by God. But anyway, so the portal was a very big deal, and one of the creators who upload stuff to the portal was an animator named Dan Paladin. And a lot of Dan Paladin's stuff did very well on Newgrounds, and Dan Paladin and Tom Falp, the dude who basically ran Newgrounds, became buddies. And they ended up deciding to start working together. And they made something called Alien Hominid.
That is where our timeline truly starts.
Exactly.
Everything up till now was the prologue.
It was.
Everything up till now, that was the base stuff. That was the Avatar went missing 100 years ago.
Exactly.
And now we're actually
now the Fire Nation attacks.
Now the Fire Nation attacked, and now Qatar and Sokka are finding Aang and the iceberg.
Exactly.
Here, Alien Hominids is our iceberg, and we're about to delve into it and find a child that will sprout into a beautiful boy named Hattie Haddington.
That was beautiful. That was magnificent. Yes. That is what's happening, so deal with it. Because, again,
oh my God.
Tom Falp and Dan Paladin both did lots of stuff for Alien Hominid. But, basically, they worked great as a team because Tom Falp was mainly a programmer, and Dan Paladin was more of sort of like an art kind of guy. And they worked really well as a team. And other people helped too, but they were sort of like the main sort of like, iconic
Those
duo.
people don't matter.
No. And the original form of Alien Hominid was almost a proof of concept just to show that you could do like a legit video game in Flash. But then they got even more ambitious and turned it into a full-on game that got like physical releases. You can actually buy it on Xbox or GameCube, stuff like that.
Y'all ever play Cool Math games? You probably did if you go to school. So it's all Flash games. Proof of concept here!
Proof of concept. And Alien Hominid, gameplay-wise, it was inspired by Contra and Metal Slug.
What?
Have you played a Contra or Metal Slug game?
I've played Metal Slug before. What do you mean? We've played it together.
I thought so, but you actually you had like this blind look on your face.
I don't know what the other one is, though.
Contra, you and I played a bit of Contra on like the SNES Classic or the Genesis Classic, one of those.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I might vaguely remember.
Yeah, and Metal Slug 3 is the one I'm pretty sure you and I played together, but it was a few years ago, so I wasn't sure if you
I played Metal Slug.
Okay, good.
How dare you?
I'm very sorry to
We
offend.
played it together.
And it's a very good game. And Alien Hominid, it's a sort of thing where, for its time, it was an impressive accomplishment for a brand new team.
I've never played it.
I will say that it does not, like, in terms of, like, just raw mechanics, I don't think it really matches up to the likes of Metal Slug or Contra. Okay. But it had...
They did have the little aliens in Castle Crashers.
It would.
Wasn't there a level where they went and they fought
There's
a
whole homage.
aliens?
We will absolutely touch on that.
Because I have seen the
little fellas.
Because I remember seeing a picture for it, and I'm like, wait a second. I remember being on a spaceship in Castle Crashers
and find these guys.
Beating the crap out of them. Yeah. Murdering them. In cold blood. I'm a monster.
You didn't know?
Just killed a man. Put the gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead.
Oh, another interesting bit of trivia about the Behemoth. Bohemian Rhapsody was inspired by Alien Hominid.
Mama,
that is not a true fact.
Life had just begun, but now I've got it thrown all away.
Oh, we're gonna get demonetized because it's so accurate.
Mama! Didn't mean to make you cry.
Sometimes I wish I'd never been born to die.
Carry on, as if nothing really matters.
Okay, we had to weed out anybody who did not have the gumption to endure that part of the podcast. Only the...
Oh my god.
Separating the wheat from the chaff with that.
Yes.
Now... You're here, and you can be trusted. So, Alien Hominid, good game, especially for like a small team's first attempt at like a full release caliber video game. Very impressive, and Dan Paladin's artwork I find quite charming. And so it had like a good look, and it was well made. It's just sort of thing where it lacked like the level of like full on sort of like mechanical satisfaction and perfection of a true Metal Slug or Contra game.
Intelligence of Detroit Become Human, though.
Maybe slightly less, but it comes down to what you take from the work.
Did a child dramatically die in the mother's arms? That's a timeline.
No, but two yellow aliens with little laser guns fight a Yeti in Russia, I think.
That has no correlation to Alice dying.
You don't think so?
No!
There's a polar bear in Detroit. Polar bear is a large mammal associated with snowy places, just like a Yeti.
Oh my god.
So if you think I'm suggesting that Detroit Become Human is basically a remake of Alien Hominid... Yes. Moving on. Their next game,
dear Lord,
was Castle Crashers.
Oh yes,
and
my childhood.
Yes, played a lot of Castle Crashers when you were young.
I did. We had all the DLC.
We did.
We had so many DLC.
It was wonderful. I think one of them.
And then our PS3 broke.
Yes, and we lost all that stuff, but
it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
We'll do it. But it was I will say, that one is a sort of, beat 'em up type game.
It's very fun.
Yes, it can be up to 4 players, and I will say that
the ending fight is really cool.
Oh yeah, it's got some fantastic big showpiece
if y'all
battles.
Haven't played it, watch gameplay of it on YouTube. Click off this video.
Yes.
God. YouTube search for the final boss battle in Castle Crashers, and then come back.
Yes, it's cool, really good stuff, and I feel like it was a big step up in terms of, execution from Alien Hominid.
We're just manipulating you into clicking on our video multiple times and giving us more.
Yes, just shame we got ourselves demonetized earlier, but aside from that, this plan was perfect.
We can't get monetized anyways on this channel because we don't fulfill the requirements yet.
We will.
We will do it.
But for now, it is important to know that Castle Crashers was a very well done beat 'em up. Honestly, I actually think that it's sort of thing where Alien Hominid, in comparison to the games that inspired it, it just wasn't actually quite as good as them. It was impressive for what it was, but it wasn't as good as the games that inspired it. Castle Crashers, I really think it can stand with pretty much any beat 'em up because, a lot of beat 'em ups kind of get repetitive and samey, but Castle Crashers does a good job of keeping a sense of, like, excitement and mixing things up.
There were so many different types of enemies.
There
and
was.
They are so different. There's, like, a whole plot line with this guy who stole a crystal. His whole boss fight, again, click off this video and look it up. It's just, there's so many, like I said, there's an alien hominids reference in the form of this, like, spaceship scene where you fight a bunch of the alien hominids.
Yes.
There's all the castle people. There's just so many fun boss fights. There's just ridiculous slapstick for some reasons.
There's just a absolutely wonderful sense of progression and variety to it. And just like any beat 'em up, I will say, really, if at all possible, try to find other people to play it with. Because beat 'em up, that's just a genre where doing it single player is
possible but annoying.
Yes, and it's not really the same.
Don't be sad.
It's like, it's like Mario Party single player.
Yeah.
They'll let you, but try not to let it come to that. But in fact, you know what? I'm gonna just say, if you there's plenty of great single player games out there. If you're playing solo, play another game. Wait till you have some other people to play with to do Castle Crashers.
Even if it's your enemies. That way
Even
you
then.
can beat the hell out of them.
There you
In
go.
Castle, you can't beat your friends, I don't think.
There might have been a setting for that, but I don't remember. There was a versus mode
it's like
optional type thing, I
BoJack,
believe.
when Cracker Jack was like, oh yeah, all my kills are friendly fire.
So it goes! But, very good game. And really, like, I think that it connected with a lot of people. That game really found an audience, and
there's even Minecraft skins of
true.
Like a base for. There's in one of the skin packs, at least on the console. I don't know about other things, but on the console, there's a skin pack, and in that skin pack, I think the free skins, at least one of them is free, is the original four: the green, the orange, the red, and the blue Castle Crashers all have skins on there.
And it was a really big game too. Like,
yeah.
Like it was like far larger in scope than you would expect. It was, really was very impressive, very well done. Good soundtrack as well.
Most people who clicked on this video probably have heard of it.
Exactly. I really think if you've heard of any of their games, Castle Crashers is probably it. But even that is getting a little long in the tooth at this point. So there is possible that, if you didn't play it when it came out, I don't know, I don't know if it's stuck around. I really feel like it'd be nice to sort of get another re-release if they, cause I don't think you can probably play them on the, PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, we have a demo of it on the Xbox One.
Which means that you could, but again, going on to the PS5, I don't know whether that'll be an option. So, I don't know, I really do hope they try to keep it alive because, for instance, Behemoth's next game is actually going to be a re-envisioned version of Alien Hominid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a good idea, because Alien Hominid, again, I feel that one could probably do with a little sprucing up. And also, I just think it's very good to keep games fresh and available to the people who want to play them. And I really think that Castle Crash is a game that really, it feels, I'm not saying it's an all-time masterpiece, but it's a really, really good game. And it's just timeless in the sense I think that almost any person, anytime, any place could have a lot of fun playing it with some friends and family. It's just
a really
good time.
game.
It is. It's very fun.
Also, isn't there a DLC that's to cancer research?
Yes, I think there's a pink night you can order, and I think it is purchasing them, the profits go to fight cancer and everything. So it's all good stuff.
So if y'all want a nice skin, doesn't it have weird special powers as well? They all have their own unique powers.
Yes.
That one has pink magic. So if y'all want an extra skin and to help people with cancer, do that.
Absolutely. It was a very good game, and good on them for doing that as a feature. Yeah. But are we ready to move on to the next?
The best.
The next and the best.
The best.
After that, they would go on to make a game called Super Mario Odyssey.
No!
That was not them. They want to make a game called Battle Block Theater.
Which we've mentioned.
Yes.
And unlike last time, which Dad had designed to come to first, you have not done it. But I am going to go out on a limb and say that Hattie is probably incorporated in somehow.
Probably will be, because Hattie is wonderful.
Yes.
See, it's an interesting case where Battle Block Theater actually has way more of an emphasis on storytelling than the first two games, because
I haven't played Alien Incompetence, so I can't speak for that, but Castle Crashers had a story of sorts. There was this, like, the princess was stolen, I think, and
a bunch of princesses got kidnapped, and more importantly than that,
this
magic crystal also gets stolen alongside.
But that's pretty much all they have as far as that goes. Literally, like I said again, click off this video and go watch the opening scene of Battle Block Theater.
But I feel like I should clarify, lest anybody think that I'm saying that a crystal is more important than the lives of princesses. The crystal is more important because it has magical powers that the evil wizard would use to destroy everything.
I don't think anyone was going to try and
I was going to get so many complaints from people who thought I was undermining the value of princesses' lives.
Hashtag Scorched Mock is over party.
Yes.
Trending on Twitter.
I cannot risk that. So, let that be known.
Shiro live stream mess. That was
oh boy. But, their next game was Battle Block Theater, which has more of an emphasis on storyline, because, again, like the first two games, there was story, but it was, unless I'm forgetting something, I'm pretty sure that all the storytelling in the first two games was just told, like, through pantomime. Like, there's no actual, like, words or true dialogue.
Every chapter in Battle Block, again, the entire opening of the game is this big, like, prologue explaining how you end up on this, like, island theater prison.
Yes.
Which is a very weird thing for them to do. And then, like, after you, like, finish each, like, full chapter, there's, like, cutscenes and stuff. So, it's, like, a very storytelling...
It is, but
it literally takes place in a theater prison.
And the presentation of the story, though, is, even though there is far more of a story, its presentation is very different, because it's pretty much all told through, alongside, obviously, like, the visuals and such, it's all told basically through narration, by a very, very energetic and hilarious narrator figure, who feels incredibly distinct as a core part of the Battle Block Theater identity. Basically, how much you get out of the presentation of Battle Block Theater, it really depends a lot on how charming or annoying you find the narrator.
Yeah.
I've heard people find the narrator annoying. I personally find him hysterical and deeply charming.
Yes.
And the narrator is played by this fellow named Stamper. I think his first name was Will Stamper. He was another person who made videos on Newgrounds back in the day. He has made more of a career since then. And what's kind of impresses me even more with how good he does in his role in Battle Block Theater is that most of Stamper's work that I've seen myself is very, very not for children. Like, the jokes really go a lot of places.
Tails gets trolled.
Yes. But Battle Block Theater, like, its jokes never really go past, like, slightly, like, tee-hee naughty. Like, it's mostly fine for all audiences and all
salad
ages.
and diarrhea casserole.
Yeah, it's like, it's that's pretty much as bad as it gets, sort of thing. So I do think that it shows, like, like, good for Stamper, showing that he can be funny.
The worst it gets is a hairy butt sticking out of a plate of lettuce.
Yes. So if you cope with that...
That's going to be taken out of context.
Dangerous game. That's why you gotta clarify things, like not valuing crystals over princesses.
God.
But it is a very, very entertaining presentation. And from my understanding, Stamper did I don't know whether he, how much of the story he wrote or came up himself, or whether he really was just hired to basically improv the narration for it. But however it works, this story is weird, it's engaging, and the setting is genuinely distinct. It is a very strange setting. They kind of are legitimately kind of curious, what is the deal with this place? Why is there an island theater prison being run by evolved cats?
It's so weird.
It is.
Why is Hattie being possessed by this weird glowy hat?
So many questions, and it's good stuff. And, I really found weirdly involving and funny and interesting, and the ending is... Don't want to spoil anything, but it's an experience. It is an experience truly unlike anything else, and I really do think that it's a game...
Fucking Yoshi was all surprise!
Yes. Like, the high points, I think, are absolutely the intro and the ending.
Sure. The intro is so good.
Yes, the intro is wonderful, but the little in-between chapters, cutscenes, they're fine.
They're great.
Yeah, there's nothing against them, but it's really, like, starts off strong and finishes strong, and that's kind of the best, you know? As long as you have, you know, what's in between is still solid, you're fine.
The ending has Buckle Your Pants.
A majestic and magnificent song.
So artful.
Truly so.
Billie Eilish is quaking.
Speaking of that song, though, I will say Battle Block Theater, I think, has a very strong soundtrack.
Yes.
Some very, very catchy, memorable, and fun tunes to listen to.
Yeah, also, speaking of Billie Eilish, this was not intentional, but it just came to mind, there's, like, an instrumental, like, kind of 8-bit sound in the background of her new song, Therefore I Am. Listen to that, same vibe as the background music in... I'll play you it after.
Interesting.
Unless you want to pause right now.
Now we'll be professional. We'll keep going for now, but I'm curious. I'm curious.
There's like, during the bridge or like the outro or something, there's like this background music, it's like, do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and it's like this, it sounds like the same like synthesizer type noise that they used in Battle Block Theater, and I was just like,
weird.
Ah!
It's got some good stuff. And thing is, out of the songs in the game, Buckle Your Pants, you need to beat the game to earn the right to listen to that. Don't you dare listen to Buckle Your Pants.
Don't you dare.
Until you actually play through the game and earn that right for yourself.
I know we've been manipulating you into clicking off and then coming back.
But this time, don't you do it.
Don't you dare.
Don't you dare. If you want to get like sort of like something close to the end, what you are allowed to listen to hear like, oh yeah, nice soundtrack, is the song is called Mr. Finale, and that plays during the sort of final level of the game in the background.
Okay.
And that is a song actually composed by Stamper, who doesn't do all the music, but he does some of the songs, including that one, and it is quite good. So you can listen to Mr. Finale.
My Hattington, Hattington.
So good!
So your friend's a vegetable now.
But no spoilers. Anyway, there is also the,
Good gameplay,
the whole
really
gameplay thing.
Yeah, we've just been completely neglecting to mention.
Yes, but the gameplay is very good and cleverly done. It's a side-scroller, but the levels are made out like, you know, very, like, blocks. Like, that's why it's called that, but don't get, like, a Minecraft kind of vibe. It just, the blocks are just sort of like, you know, the weird layout that it's done with, and each of them has different effects.
Super Mario Maker type thing?
Exactly. That's something that I wanted to mention, is that it even comes with the whole thing that lets you build your own levels with a great deal of options and possibilities, and yet it came out well before Mario Maker. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say that it's better than Mario Maker in terms of the gameplay front.
I also don't even think we should imply that Mario Maker ripped it off.
Absolutely not.
Because it's definitely not an original concept.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying that is an impressive thing.
Super Smash Brothers, like, there's so many things that have had level creation beforehand.
Yes.
So we're not trying to imply that Mario Maker
But as far as a, side-scrolling platformer type thing goes, having a very in-depth and involved level creation tool that's a huge part of the experience, that I can't think of too many examples before Battle Block Theater. That's actually the earliest one that I myself can think of.
Yeah.
So and again, for this to be happening years before Mario Maker, not implying it's better than it, and not implying that Mario Maker ripped it off, obviously.
Because like we said, level creation has been a thing.
Yes.
Super Smash Brothers.
And I've even heard that Mario Maker was an idea that had gone back years before they made it.
Yeah.
But it is just still an impressive and cool
Mario also was basically just like a giant level creator.
Yeah.
There's just so many other examples of level creations. We're not trying to apply it right now.
But it is a very good one, robust, and it's just like, you know, the level, it's just one of those games that on a moment-to-moment basis is fun. It's just the levels are clever, they have lots of interesting little mechanics, and because like of the weird fact that the levels are made out of these like sort of like, you know, little condensed blocks and chunks and everything, it leads to a case where there's almost no sense of wasted space to levels. I feel like every level feels incredibly efficiently designed and well considered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there's so many different like types of animals in it as well. Like there's these like pig things that you can ride on. There's also the boat mechanic where you can like splash water if there's water, because you die in the water. Fair warning if you play a game, if you go in the water you will die. You cannot swim.
Yes.
and you can do that. You can call a boat over. There's those weird, horrifying raccoon things.
Raccoon moose monsters.
There's a weirdly high number of fan art for that specifically.
Yeah, became like a weird mascot type figure. I don't know why.
There's also like
the sharks that don't look like sharks.
Got more look like green cursed ducks. I have a hat actually of the duck. I've had that hat for a while, but I do have a hat of it. It's a very good hat. I like that hat a lot. Anyways, there's whales.
Glorious.
There's the cat. We mentioned
the weird cat guards.
There's like in most of the levels, there's like these cat things that will attack you and can be quite annoying.
And you have also like lots of special weapons and tools that you can equip and everything. And a really like thing that's like really is fun to explore and play with both and like the just going through the main story mode as well as when making your levels is there's lots of very interesting interactions between all the different stage hazards and movement options and tools and enemies and like there's just a lot going on.
It's also interesting back to the animals how like some of them are actually helpful.
Exactly.
Like the pigs, I think you can swim with them as well, but those are helpful to help you like jump around and stuff and do things that you might otherwise not be able to do. Or have it, like, stand on something. But then there's also things like a horrifying raccoon monster that will just devour you whole.
Yep.
Another feature I want to mention is the, like, money collecting and, like, buying things in-game currency. So, for a quick explanation, in every level, you needs to collect at least 3 of these green gems in order to finish the level. And you can also, optional, you can get this piece of yarn that's hidden in each level. And you can buy, with these things, you can buy, I think it's just the yarn, but it might also be the gems. You can buy character heads for different things. There's, like, in each, like, chapter, there's a shop where you can get, like, these character heads, which are very fun to mess around with, because they have lots of very good heads. Of different shapes and whatever, all sorts of different heads, and also you can buy different weapons, which is very fun to get all the weapons. That way you can just choose what you want. I personally am a fan of the paper airplane that you can throw and explode. That would probably be my favorite weapon. Y'all want to know my outfit, and this is also pretty much my outfit in Among Us as well, is white with a goat head and a paper airplane.
There we go.
And I'm a white, in Among Us, I'm a white crewmate, if I have the opportunity to do that, with good goat horns. I don't know what it is, I just love looking like a goat, I guess.
It's because you played Goat Simulator at an impressionable age.
Yes, that's clearly the reason. Either that or because I actually helped take care of a goat.
Oh yes, that is true.
I went to a school, I'm not going to name the school, because yikes. And they had a pet goat there, and I had to clean out her cage. Because they thought that they should have a first grader cleaning out goat poop for some reason.
Builds character.
And they tried to have me bring like a whole broom into this tiny thing. I always ignored them and just used a little hand brush because it didn't fit in the thing.
They didn't
properly.
think through logistics.
No, they always got mad. They're like, "Why are you using a hand brush?" I'm like, "Because the broom doesn't fit in the container."
I was about to say their name, but now remember, not saying the name of the school.
Not saying the name.
Not saying the name of the school, but just that school.
Not a good school. Anyways, we've gotten very off track.
Hey, these are important things. Important things.
I raised a goat.
Yes.
And saw a rabbit die. There was a rabbit.
I remember.
It was heartbreaking. I think I was like the only person who cared because everyone else just seemed annoyed to be there, and I was heartbroken.
Poor rabbit.
I'm sorry, Snowball.
Snowball!
Anyways.
But yes. It is a fine game and very fun. There's also lots of multiplayer modes. The single player mode has got a lot to it. Like, it's a pretty long and involved one, and like I said, the story goes places. And we haven't get on too much into the story because, frankly, unlike the other ones, it's a bit complicated and weird to describe, and B, you should just experience it yourself. Like, it's a fun, weird little journey.
So, to give you a basic, like, idea of what it is, and if you watch, like, the opening scene, I'll just basically summarize the opening scene.
No, they should go into the opening scene. No spoilers. No spoilers.
I'm not gonna give the details. I'm just gonna tell them that they end up on... So, a boat crashes. All I'm gonna say is you are on a boat with some people. The boat crashes, and then you end up being taken prisoner by these weird evolved cats in this weird theater prison. So that's basically the setup for the whole game. Is your boat crashes on this island, and then you go on from there. And there's this whole side plot with a character named Hattie Haddington, which is actually kind of sad.
It does end up very sad.
But yeah, that's the basic idea of it. Yeah.
And it's a fun journey, and
I really full, more in-depth prologue on how they ended up crashing on this island. Watch the opening scene. Click off its video. YouTube search Battle Block Theater opening scene.
Just go for it, and if you watch it earlier, watch it again.
It's only a few minutes long.
It's worth it, and it's. Again, it is also, once again, a multiplayer game. In fact, all their games have been multiplayer games. They've always seemed to place big emphasis on that. And it's kind of interesting because the early Flash-animated Newgrounds games, multiplayer kind of wasn't really an option on those, because this was, like, before, you could integrate, like, internet co-op or versus or anything like that in those sort of Flash games back then. So, yeah, they've really been making the most of the fact that they've moved on from there.
Yes.
But they really have done an excellent job, and I feel like even though Battle Block Theater did not break through to have quite the audience that
which is
Castle Crashers
truly
had,
a crime.
It is. I don't know why that is, because I really do think it's, in my opinion, I think it is even stronger in quite a few ways. Yeah. And in Rerelease, like, if your argument is that they're two different directly compared, that might be some of that, but they're both very good for what they are, and Battle Block Theater certainly does deserve a great deal of attention. And just as things that I'm surprised did not go somewhat viral, frankly.
Yeah.
But we now must get to the embarrassing part where we once again touch on the fact that we were kind of expecting to sort of like end on Battle Block Theater, like, well, we look forward to whatever they come up with next. Only to find out that they did another game we never played.
2 years ago!
Yeah, and it came out on Xbox One, which we have an Xbox One.
Xbox One. We were just watching Good New Adventure Time special just yesterday.
On the Xbox One. It's called Pit People. I'm just going to read the Wikipedia description, because that's all we have to go on. Pit People is an action role-playing strategy video game by indie game developer The Behemoth. An early access version for Windows, Microsoft Windows, and Xbox One was released in January 2017, and the full version was released March 2018. And we missed it! So, we have nothing to say about Pit People, but it's probably good. It seems well regarded. It got a good reception, apparently. It is... GameSpot described its gameplay and style as chaotic and unabashedly lowbrow in light of an objective based on destroying fecal matter.
Great.
We could just end the episode right on there.
Fecal matter.
We could. We don't need to. I'm just saying we could.
Do you want to?
Let's see. All right. Unfortunately, I feel like we do need to sort of like disappear abruptly because we have nothing to say about this. We can't wind down naturally because we haven't played the most recent game. So I'm just going to, if you think this works, I might just find one more line to read from Wikipedia about this, and then you abruptly shut it off.
You want me to just cut you off mid-sentence by ending the audio?
You certainly could do that.
Do this. Alright, guys.
Alright. By 2014, the game had